Question now arises upon third reading and final passage of House Bill 3538A. Representative Harker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, House Bill 3538 comes to us from the House Committee on Energy, Environment, and Water. It's true that we are talking about greenhouse gases here today, but this is a narrowly drafted amendment to existing statute, and it should be palatable regardless of one's view of the role of humans in climate change. In 1997, this body passed what was at that time cutting-edge legislation that created a carbon dioxide emission standard for new fossil fuel-based electricity generating facilities built in the state. In fact, Oregon was the first to adopt such a forward-looking statute. We have some similarities here today between this and the bottle bill. This statute was adopted with good intentions, but frankly has fallen behind the times. Since '97, our understanding of greenhouse gas chemistry has advanced significantly, and we now recognize that there are additional gases which contribute to global warming and climate change. These gases include, but are not limited to, methane, nitrous oxide, and sulfur hexafluoride. We also know that some of these other gases have a climate change potential that far exceeds carbon dioxide. Now, this is germane because the standard that we have passed here requires that new plants that cannot meet these CO2 emission standards must go through can offset their emissions with projects. But those projects can only sequester or eliminate carbon dioxide. Because these other gases have global warming potential or climate change potential greater than carbon dioxide, we need to expand the language in statute. For instance, one molecule of methane is 23 times more potent as a greenhouse gas than is carbon dioxide. A single molecule of nitrous oxide is nearly 300 times more potent, not to mention 10,000 times funnier, as the dental patients will tell you. House Bill 3538 would update Oregon law to recognize that funding offset projects that reduce methane or nitrous oxide emissions into the atmosphere is as valuable, and at times more valuable, than reducing CO2 emissions. This change brings Oregon more into line with accepted scientific standards on offsets. In addition, House Bill 3538 would allow the Climate Trust to invest in Oregon-based projects that will benefit Oregonians through job creation. For example, in rural areas, projects that are currently prevented from participation will become eligible for offsets. These currently include a landfill gas capture project in Roseburg and a dairy digester near Tillamook. These projects will provide additional revenue sources for dairy farmers while also improving water quality and reducing noxious odors. It's perhaps for that reason that the bill is supported by the Oregon Dairy Farmers Association. The need for an update has been agreed upon unanimously by the Oregon Advisory Committee on Carbon Dioxide Equivalent Offsets, a multi-party stakeholder group appointed by the Oregon Department of Energy. I'd also like to call your attention to a floor letter that was on your desks yesterday when we thought we were going to be hearing this bill. It is from PGE and contains their endorsement of this bill. Under these new provisions, there will be greater efficiency in the offset investments. No utility that is building a new natural gas-fired generating unit will have to pay anything additional for meeting the CO2 emission standard, and there is no additional cost to the state for making this change. So, colleagues, I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Representative.